YouTubers, welcome back for another adventure. And I just got back from doing one of my favorite things. I brought home another all-terrain vehicle. So this is a Yamaha. I believe it's known as a Moto 200 shaft drive, as you see. And this is quite an old timer. I think he said it was like an 83, 84 vintage. So this thing is pushing 40 years old. She's an old timer. So what's the story on this rig? I almost like the stories better than I like the all-terrain vehicles. This was one of four. A buddy of mine bought a horde of all-terrain vehicles that needed some love and attention. There were two Moto 4s, so this is one of two. The other one was really in pretty nice shape. It ran, so he kept it. So two Moto 4s. There was an LT 125 missing the recoil. It had been sitting for a while, so I had no interest in that. He did offer it to me at a good price. But, you know, the LT 125, no suspension, no power, hard to get parts for, you know, and quite honestly, no real retail value, even should you get it running and having it looking halfway decent. When you go to put it up for sale, it's not worth much of anything. Then there was a what are they, Warrior 350. The particular bike that was there was not in very good shape. The jug was pulled off. It had been allowed to sit around. The jug, the piston had a clang to it, so it really, the motor needed to come off, and it needed complete and total love and attention. Guess the guy might have been a racer or something, because there were a whole load of parts. I mean, we're talking an eBay fantasy worth of parts that was still in packages that went along with the motor. So he got a good deal on the four of them, and I basically paid him what he had into this, which was about 400 bucks. Obviously, he probably had close to 400 bucks in each one of them. For the LT 125, it wasn't worth the 400 bucks. The $3,000 worth of parts that went with the Warrior were easily worth the 400 bucks. The one of these that ran was worth much more like 400 than this one that doesn't run. Anyway, so let's talk about this particular Moto 4 and the joy of owning it. The machine itself is really in pretty nice shape. You guys could see the front end isn't battered, but it has some nice antique drum brakes there and no front suspension. So as you're wheeling this thing about, should you dump one of those front tires into a chuck hole or something, given you have no suspension, it transmits that crunch energy right through the steering column. There's no back suspension either, so right through the pegs and seat. That way it jars your spine, rattles your teeth, shoots your eyeballs through the top of your head, and probably launches you over the handlebars. That way you can have a quick trip to the emergency room or to visit with the coroner, depending on how bad you do it. So this is not a machine you want to overdrive. It's just a nice, calm machine to ride around, right? It's very old. But once again, you could see it is not battered. The pegs are not battered, right? None of this is trashed. So I think it was really fairly well loved. As we come down the side, you can see it has the exhaust, you know, the compression release. Everything is here, right? The exhaust system is complete, including the spark arrestor, right, tailgate, right, nothing really bent up. I mean, it is a little bent, but obviously I've seen it much worse. The plastic, other than having that fire engine red paint job on it, really isn't bad. Looks like somebody at some point, I guess that broke, but the carburetor's there, and part of the air cleaner is there. I mean, the recoil, the kickstart is not welded. The tires hold there. As a matter of fact, it looks like somebody even greased up the sides of them. Once again, not bent up. This is slightly back, but not too bad. These also don't fold. That way they can hook on things and spin the bike around and dump you on the ground. I mean, perfect plastic? No, not at all. But really, considering that it's 40 years old, it's really in pretty good shape. I'm assuming there was some kind of wrap around here or something. Maybe not, though. But it really appears to be fairly well intact. Even the seat, I bet you my buddy Steve could have this seat in tip-top condition in no time at all. The person I got it from indicated that it came with the key, but he misplaced it. So, you know, you win some, you lose most. Well, somebody's got the lock on there so that you can't even full throttle it. I mean, even the brake levers are both there, which, you know, you kind of like to see. So once again, I paid $400 for it. I'm not quite sure where he got it from. If I had to guess, it was probably a marketplace deal. So it looks like it has Dyco fast trackers on the front and back. The back tires look like they have some tread left. For a $400 machine, if I can't get this thing to run, if it, you know, the engine needs to be torn apart, I'm really kind of pretty far out on a limb. But I do have all the pieces here. The back tires are worth something. It does have a recoil. Got the tractor trailer forward and reverse there. The shifter isn't welded. I'd be surprised if I can't get it to run. The headlight's worth something. I mean, you just go through the numbers. There's a lot of parts here toward that $400 I paid for it. And once again, I think I'd be surprised if I can't get it to run. The compression is a little low, but it is there. There are some tricks, right, to get them started. You can dump a little oil in the spark plug hole and, you know, make sure you distribute it well, and then with a proper carburetor on it and a little starting fluid, they normally fire up. By the way, I don't know, just you guys can see the state of the leaves coming down. So I'm in the Hudson Valley. Didn't get a lot of color. Mostly we got them falling. Crazy amount of rain this year. And as a matter of fact, they're predicting some more rain and flooding for later on today and tonight, tomorrow. It seems that we keep getting that over and over again. By the way, the brakes even work. Does have the switches, once again, front brakes. I mean, everything's here. Throttle limiter. I don't know. I'd be surprised if this doesn't run. I'd be surprised if it doesn't run well. And for $400, if that's the case, just to have a beater machine, why not? It should be a fun little machine to own. I like the front rack. Perfect size for the old 6-pack, eh? Even got the back one. I don't know. I like it. When I saw the machine, I liked it. So I bought it. I want to thank you all for dropping by to watch and comment and subscribe. Who knows, as time passes, I might get offered that Warrior. He already offered me the LT125. I just don't love those. I'd rather have the LT160, where you get suspension, electric start, reverse. It's a little bigger, it's a little better, right? I'd rather have the 160 over the 125 when it comes to Susie's. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please remember, feet down, heads up, get out and enjoy each and every day. And hopefully it doesn't flood where you guys are. Bye now.